let's now talk about profitability and see if your business is profitable or not. So, step 1. For a business to be profitable, the gross profit from all active jobs must be sufficient enough to cover all the overhead expenses, so direct and indirect costs. 2 to 3 years is the standard estimation for how long it takes a business to be profitable. That being said, each startup has different initial costs and way of measuring profit. A business could become profitable immediately or take up to 3 years or longer to make money. Okay, so how do you feel about that in your business? And how do you feel about your business revenue and turnover? What amount have you decided as a turnover for your first, second, third year? Did you actually achieve those? Did you have strategy in place to break the total amount in little steps, maybe quarterly steps, to achieve these targets? When a company reaches the break-even point, your total sales will become equal to your total expenses. Okay, so this means that you will be earning the same amount of money needed to cover all the expenses and run your business. When you're break-even, your business is neither making a profit neither a loss. Okay, so the break-even is the point where the cost and the revenues are equal. Okay, so we have a little diagram down here where exactly it's explaining you this. So the price and the cost for your product or service, how many units you're producing. So based on that, you have your own price. Now, when your costs and your revenues are intersecting, here, that's your break-even point. After this, you're gonna make a profit. Step 2. Let's now talk about assets and liabilities. So, what is an asset? An asset is a resource with an economic value that an individual, corporation, or a country owns or controls with the expectation that will provide a future benefit. Assets are reported on the company balance sheet, and these are brought or created to increase a firm value or benefit the firm operations. What is a liability? A liability is something a person or a company owns, usually a sum of money, recorded on the right side of the balance sheet. Liability includes loans, accounts payable, mortgages, deferred revenues, bonds, warranties, and accrued expenses. The simple explanation to have the difference between assets and liability is assets put money in your pocket, liability take money off your pocket. So the diagram down here explains you exactly this. Income, okay, so those are our assets, expenses, our liabilities. So asset can be rental from properties, okay, any business you might own, any intellectual property you might have royalty from, or investment portfolio. Liability can be credit cards, student loans, car loans, your mortgages, or any expenses you might have as an investment. Step 3. I took these diagrams and these charts from the book of Rich Dad Poor Dad from Robert Kiyosaki. I believe this is a high value book for financial intelligence. I also like the game that came out from it, cash flow, which helps you out really to understand that how it works to generate profit for your business, and as well how to get out from the rat race. Now, let's see these 3 diagrams, which the first one on the left is lower class individual, which we consider the poor people, middle class individual, and then higher class individual, which we consider the rich people. So how do they behave financially? So the lower class, they only have a job where they're getting a salary monthly to cover up all their expenses. The middle class, they have some investments as well. So what they have a job, they get a salary, they are covering up all their investments, so any mortgage, car loan, credit card, whatever student loan they might have, and their expenses. Okay, now the higher class individual, they do not exchange time for money. What they do, they have assets, so investments, which generates passive income for them. Okay, so for example, they have investments in real estate, stocks, bonds, intellectual property. Those are generating passive income for them. When after with this money, they are covering up any liability or expenses they have as well. Step 4. Now let's dive right into your product or your service and understand if your product or service is profitable or not. To understand that and give you a better guidance and to find clarity, I designed few questions for you. So let's dive into it. Is your product or service profitable for you? In the case of multiple products or services, which one do you consider more profitable and why? How is your service pattern and why? What I mean here is what strategy you have. So for example, let's say you have the production, you have the marketing, you have the sales and execution of service, and then the after sales. Or you might have just producing the product and giving it out to someone else to sell it. Or what is your process? Okay, so your service pattern. Do you consider a product or service an asset or a liability? This I mean for your end client, and why? How could you improve your current cash flow activities to change your income pattern? Okay, now this is the page where you usually jot down any notes, any comments, any idea, question you might have for me, and please do send them to me either by email, message on Facebook, Instagram, or any comment you might want to make in any live video I'm gonna do in the future. Thank you, and let's close with a little quote, which the one for today is: profitability is coming from productivity, efficiency, management, austerity, and the way you manage your business. Thank you, and I see you in the next session.